Ryan Rosenblatt for SB Nation Soccer, and MLS training camps are underway, which means the MLS season is right around the corner, and teams are starting to put the finishing touches on their rosters as they make a run at MLS Cup 2013. One team that still has some work left to do is the LA Galaxy. The two-time defending MLS Cup champions still have not found a replacement for David Beckham. Now, a lot else has gone right for them this offseason. Their entire defense is back. They have Carlo Cudicini signed to play in goal. Juninho signed a permanent deal after being on loan the last couple years. Robbie Keane is back. Marcelo Sarvis will also be back in the team. And Bruce Arena said that Landon Donovan will return this season after contemplating retirement. But they still need a replacement for Beckham, the creative player in the midfield who hit so many long balls to stretch defenses and was such a threat on set pieces is not going to be there next season. They need somebody else who can move the ball. Now, no one's going to hit a dead ball quite like Beckham, but a player like Kaká or Frank Lampard, both of them who've been linked to LA, could help move the ball in different ways and given the kind of unpredictability in the midfield that the Galaxy need. Now, whether or not they sign those two is still up in the air, as is whether or not they will sign a new designated player to replace Beckham before the season or not until the summer. Those things are unsure, just like we're unsure what's going on in Seattle where they need a replacement for Fredy Montero. The Colombian striker, who is one of the best in MLS, has gone to Millonarios on loan and will probably be sold before long. That means that they need to get another striker. Now, Joe Roth has come out and said that they will certainly sign a designated player to replace Montero, and that money is not an issue. They will sign the best player that they can possibly get. Who's that going to be? There are a lot of rumors, none of them particularly concrete, and none of them really make sense. So nobody really knows what the Standards are going to do. But it has to be a very good player. They're going to replace the fantastic Montero, and Seattle wants a chance to get to MLS Cup and win MLS Cup and bring that trophy back to their thousands of adoring fans. A little bit down the road, Portland is completely remaking their squad. Caleb Porter is coming as a new manager and is playing things completely differently. They're going to play a different style with different players. They're building around Darlington Nagbe. They brought in Will Johnson and Diego Valeri, two very good signings, but they still need some other help, especially in center defense. David Horst and Javier Mascara were both okay last season, but they had their issues. Now, they can really use either a replacement there or someone at least to push those two in the center of defense. They could also use some help at left back. They've been linked to Jonathan Bornstein, who may come back to MLS, but that hasn't been done yet. They have the MLS rights to him. Whether or not they can secure Bornstein and shore up that left back position, we don't know. That would be big for them as they try and rebuild this team after last season's horrible year. Now, two teams that are really kind of just looks like they're making it up as they go along, Chivas and Toronto FC. Chivas at least has a plan. They're going to be Latino, they're going to be Mexican, but besides that, we don't really know what they're doing. They need a lot of help after last season's horrible year, and they're not doing much to help themselves. It's still Dan Kennedy and 10 other guys. That's not very good. They need more talent, whether they're going to be Latino or anything else. They need players. They don't have them right now. They need to upgrade their squad desperately. Toronto FC need some depth. They just need some quality experience and some role players to put around them. They also need another designated player. Eric Hasley will probably be dealt. Unlikely somewhere else in MLS, more likely they'll let him go back to Europe to play, which would open up a designated player slot. Now, they've shown a willingness Toronto has to spend money in the past. They will probably spend money again to replace Hasley. They need somebody very, very good because there are a lot of holes on this team. Danny Kuvermans, one of their current designated players, has a torn ACL, won't be ready for the beginning of the season. In the center of midfield, they have Torsten Frings and Julio Cesar, both good players, but both are very limited range-wise. They need some help around there in the midfield, and they need just someone who's more dynamic, as well as some help in the back. They have issues in Toronto. They need to be able to get some depth there. They need to get a good designated player if they want a chance to make their first MLS Cup playoffs. Yeah, they've never even been in the playoffs. It's sad in Toronto. They need some help. The MLS season is less than 2 months away. It's exciting. It's coming up, so make sure you head over to SB Nation Soccer for all your transfer news, all your MLS season preview, and all of your coverage for the entire season.